Welcome back to Mega Man X6. So, here we go. We are on the actual gameplay loop of the game. We've got 8 Nightmare Investigators. We've got to investigate them. That's right, we're turning it around on these Nightmare Investigators. We're the Nightmare investigating them instead. Anyway, though, as always, there's a little bit of an introduction before we actually move off. Can't just know everything about a level, which I wasn't expecting that, but now we have an excuse. There's interference. We also have this gimmick, which, of course, is not going to be relevant yet. However, there are such things called nightmare effects. I'll get into those more next time when, again, they're actually relevant. Until you have beaten a stage, though, they will not be. Unfortunately, like the 5 Reploids left on the planet, decided, yeah, actually, Izok's plan sounded real cool. Let's go out and investigate the nightmare, and then immediately they got owned. Alright, so we don't really have anything we can do right now other than choose a stage. Obviously, we could go check the people we've rescued, but we haven't rescued anyone, and we could go check the parts we got, but we don't have any parts. So we're starting with Sheldon. What a name. That's my favorite animal, is Sheldon. Love those Sheldons. Okay, so when we start a stage, we immediately get Alia, giving us a bit of a briefing on the area. Alright, we've got another laser lab like an X5, but this one's off the map. It's not official, this is an illegal laser institute. Dr. Firefly would be so disappointed. Okay, so the Mega Man X6 tweaks. So, this is where they really start becoming relevant, because now we have rescuable Reploids. Hey, so remember in X5 where the guys you rescue are kind of just collectibles to either heal you or, if you're already healed, give you extra lives? Well, guess what? They've changed that. They're not just any collectibles now. Also, this platform is slippery and I don't know why. But the rescuable Reploids can now be in danger. So those guys floating around that drop the blue orbs, if there is a Reploid in the room, they will go after those Reploids instead. And if they come in contact, that Reploid also becomes a weird floaty nightmare dude. So yeah, now the Reploids are actually killable. They are missable characters. So, you wanna know what sucks about that? In vanilla, those Reploids perma-die if anything bad happens to them. They're gone forever. Oh, but you might be thinking, oh, is it like an X5 where they just, like, heal you or whatever? No. Some Reploids have the upgrades. The upgrades in this game are indeed tied to the guys who can permanently fucking die. So that's fun, right? Oh, and you know what else is fun? In vanilla, there are a ton of Reploids, and some of them also don't give you anything. So, unless you already know what's going on ahead of time, unless you have either read a guide or played the game enough to know where those guys are, you kinda just have to guess. You have to save everyone because they could give you a collectible, but the odds are, I think, better for it to just be a regular collectible, and therefore, you put yourself in danger for health. And look, you know, I want to save these guys, I don't want them to die, but also, in terms of just being a video game, that just sucks. It's not great, and it's one of the many reasons people don't like this game. So, of course, that is one of the major changes in the tweaks hack. So, first and foremost, Reploids cannot perma-die. If you miss out on one in this hack, then you can just come back to the stage later, they will have revived. So that's cool. That is very lenient and much appreciated. Second off, it has actually removed superfluous Reploids, so the only Reploids you'll be seeing in this LP are the ones who give upgrades, so you don't have the random fluff Reploids that exist. Like, I guess they just want to make you think, oh hey, I'm saving a lot of people here, but like, I don't know, I just think it's fluff. Anyway though, we have a secret in here that is hinted if you go to the lower platform. X will mention hearing some wind, so that's your hint that you can just go through a wall and find this armor part. So, much like in the X5 hack, you are allowed to use armors early, even when they're incomplete. So this is one of those, obviously you take less damage, but also, if you take damage, then you can just explode the room. So we'll nab this. And then we'll leave. Now, unlike the usual thing where I swear to do a no-hit run, or I do unless Zero's in the room, technically speaking that's not theoretically the most useless ability, because I will be taking damage in this LP sometimes. For example, I so genuinely did not want to come back here and do this whole thing again, so I just took damage to save time. I've tried, I don't think it's possible to, like, hover your way from grabbing that heart to a platform. You do not get enough time, you will die. So, sometimes in stages in this game, you will see, like, this weird blue crystal thing, and then you find another version of the stage, which is what it's called. It's just another whatever. This jump fucking sucks ass, by the way. It's really easy to touch the side of those spikes and die. I think the game definitely wants you to come back with the same upgrade you'd need for the heart upgrade to get that without getting hit. But again, you don't necessarily need it. You can maneuver yourself in such a way that you can successfully get that Reploid without dying. So anyway, this alternate path, I don't much like these another paths either. So they lead you to special boss rooms. Now, this isn't like Mega Man 6, where you fight weird alternate versions of the boss, because the one you would find normally is a fake, and then you get the beat parts or whatever. No, here you fight secret bosses, such as Nightmare Zero. He is purple. He's eaten far too many grapes, he must be stopped. I mean, it seems like Nightmare Zero wants to be friends, but X isn't falling for it. Faker? I think you're the fake Reploid around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even good enough. I'll make you eat those words. I was kind of hoping the dialogue would be over by now. I was close, though. So, we actually get a retread of the X vs. Zero fight from the previous game. Zero has similar attacks to what he had, though clearly a lot of these are easier than Awakened Zero had. And we even get the X vs. Zero boss theme, which is less cool when we're fighting a fake Zero, but whatever. Anyway, just like in that game, Nightmare Zero is pretty lethal, so it is very easy to die here. Obviously, if you've got more health upgrades, you'll probably survive just fine, but you can still scrape by even at the beginning of the game like this. Which you might want to, especially in vanilla, because your reward for beating the first boss in another area is the real-ass Zero. There he is. Damn. This is some bad publicity. I'm gonna get cancelled. Okay, look. This is dumb and really takes a lot of the bite out of X5, but I do really love X's overjoyed face. So yeah, the intro did mention that, you know, it worded the whole situation specifically where nobody died, but only one of the Maverick Hunters made it out. But no, they're kind of retconning X5, where Zero fucking dies. So, obviously this is a different translation. There is the classic line, "I hid myself while I repaired myself," which is the explanation you get originally. Here, though, he's just like, yeah, no, I had to hide so my auto repair functions could kick in. I had this big dramatic death scene, and like I saw Iris, and you know, I realized I kind of failed her, and the world I fought for isn't any better. I've kind of failed in that respect. It really feels like I killed Iris for nothing. And then I realized, oh yeah, wait, no, I can just auto-repair, right? I mean, in X1, the Vile ruined my auto-repair systems when, well, I did when I exploded, but this time around, it's fine. The auto-repair systems were better, so Zero survived. I did really like the ending of X5, though. I mean, for obvious reasons, Zero can't be dead. Well, I don't know. I feel like we still could have transitioned to the Zero series even without Zero surviving here, but he is going to be in future games, and he's going to kind of be pivotal to future games, so whatever, he's alive again, it's fine. He hit himself while he repaired himself. And so, we did actually beat the stage, officially. This is enough to move on. We won't get the boss weapon, of course, but technically we did it. We also, you know, got part of the blade armor, which means we can use that. And now Zero is just fine. So you can wait like half the game to find one of those areas, and you won't get Zero until, you know, whenever you do find one of them. And you could also just get your ass kicked by Zero and not want to do that fight for a while. Either way, though, all that is to say, X6 Tweaks does fix another thing. Much like in X5, upgrades are specific to the character who picks them up. So if you don't play most of the game as Zero and unlock Zero, fuck you, Zero is just going to suck in comparison to X, so you might as well keep using X. Of course, here, it does not matter. Just pick whoever you want to. They all get access to the same things, it's fine. Obviously, except for the X and Zero specific things, but that goes without saying. So we're going to do this stage again, because we didn't actually kill Sheldon, but we're going to do it as Zero. So first off, I did have 2 separate codes at the title screen. I only entered one, but once again, here comes the X6 Tweaks hack. If you enter the ultimate armor for X code, you'll also get Black Suit Zero. I figured I'd have to re-earn that, but nope, I didn't. The second code now unlocks Zero from the start, rather than just giving him his black armor, so that means you can also fight Nightmare Zero with Zero, which is neat. Anyway, now that we're playing as Zero and we have all the Alia hints out of the way and all the other stuff done, I would just like to say I fucking hate this stage. Here's another bad puzzle stage. I keep starting with these for some reason. This is sort of the weird link between games. X4, I started with a vehicle stage. X5, I started with the vehicle and also bad puzzle stage. And now this is just the bad puzzle stage, no vehicles to be found. But yeah, no, it's not the worst, but a lot of the enemies are just really obnoxious to have to deal with alongside the lasers, which, for the most part, do not hurt you, except for the actual, like, beam portion of it, the ends of it, where you see that little, burst effect. Yeah, that will hurt you, so it will hurt you while firing. But if you just touch the beam itself, you're fine. But yeah, like, the bottom portion of the stage that leads to the alt version of the stage is way harder and way more tedious to get through because of how little space you get and just how much there is filling that space. The top portion feels like fucking nothing, though. Getting some real X2 vibes from the main part of the stage. Anyway, here's Sheldon. We're getting a actually pretty good conversation with him. There's clearly a lot of history here. We had Alia's conversation as well, but Zero seems to have made some kind of mistake. Sheldon, however, won't let him guilt himself. If anything, Sheldon will guilt Sheldon. So yeah, especially with a better translation, I actually do like this lead-up. But of course, Sheldon's not just gonna leave. Because he has a new person he's working for, and he's gonna be stubborn, and he will fight for that person. I mean, I understand, but I'm going to chop you in half now. By the way, levels are back, so we have to deal with that sort of thing again. I'll explain more about that later. Sheldon, however, is only level 1, so we're gonna kick the shit out of him. He's pretty easy, though, to be fair, he does take up a lot of space with his shells. But he's got a pretty obvious pattern overall. He'll just kind of bounce around, he'll throw shells at you to try to just get you while you're dodging one, so you have to just dodge really high rather than a little high. And then he makes a big barrier, which, you know, would actually be pretty tough to avoid, considering he's just constantly coming towards you. He wants to make contact with you, but because his HP is garbage, he is dead now. There we go. Alright, we got a Nightmare Orb. Norb. We did it, we picked up a Norb. Speaking of which, gonna have to explain those blue orbs later. But you might expect that they have something to do with the soul obtained thing. Yep, it does. Yeah, we've been picking up soul orbs. Those are the blue orbs from the floaty guys. I'll explain more about that later. Look, it's been a long episode. Sorry, I just looked at Dr. Jim. Sorry, in between recording this, the footage for this, and then recording the audio, I did forget about Dr. Jim. And we do actually get a full report on what happened to him. So, Dr. Jim went Maverick. Sheldon had to kill Dr. Jim, and then everybody walked in and, oh god, what? And then everybody thought he was a Maverick, but apparently, Sheldon was just so overcome with grief for his failure that he did commit suicide. Alright, so that's where we're at for this game. Reploid suicide. Alright, leaving off on that note, because it's definitely the end of the episode. Please don't pay attention to the fact that there's still 4 minutes left. It's just these two talking.
報告します。調査員が一人倒されました。しかも
We've killed exactly one investigator.
死に損ないがオールドロボットは随分と渋っ
は誠にその通りで
You know, I kinda like the previous CG, and I don't feel like this one's doing that much more than that one did. Like, you're just showing us their faces, and like, I get it. I kinda figured they were talking, being they were the only two people in the room. But, no, we're just getting these still images of their faces.
もうゼロに用はない。
Zero does not concern me any
ハ
longer.
イマックスが処分してくれるだろう。
確かにハイマックスの能力をもってすればゼロの処分も簡単なことですが。
I'm also gonna say, I feel like the ambient noise isn't doing the scene any justice either. I don't know, just give these two some kinda villain song.
お前のゼロに対するこだわりは少し異常ではないか。
Hey, do you like this Zero guy? No, I don't!
いえ、そんなことは。
He's just my arch nemesis who I have paintings of all over my house. It's so I know to hate him.
例の実験の方が先だ。
それは分かっております。すべては順調、絶大な効果が出て。
Impressive results. You don't say. Can we like switch to anything else?
18% の確率で。
Like, look, I get it, limited budget, and maybe we just don't want to do the animated scenes from X4 anymore. I know the American audience at least kind of poked fun at those, so I guess we're just gonna be self-conscious about that forever, but you know.
ではそろそろ次の段階に。
Still images do kind of get boring. Like, there's a reason that in visual novels they have characters like animate, or, you know, if they don't have like talking animations, they will at least like have the canned animations where like the character moves in some way every time there's a new text box, because it does liven things up a little bit.
あの二人のイレギュラーハンター。
That's all I'm gonna be focusing on right now, because otherwise, it's just Gate Isaac talking about, you know, mad science things. An investigator's dead. Oh damn, that sucks. Oh well, we'll kill those Maverick Hunters anyway. Yeah, but what about Zero though? He's so cool. No, he's not. Fuck that guy. Okay. Anyway, you know about that mystery experiment? Oh yeah, that's been doing very well. Cool, keep going with that. There you go. That's that conversation summarized. Anyway, that's it for Mega Man X6 this week. Next time, we go to a red zone.